Welcome to the eerie corridors of Old Joliet Prison, a forsaken realm where the shadows whisper the untold history of its dark past. As we venture into the heart of this abandoned fortress, we encounter a world frozen in time, its whispers echoing through the silence. The air is heavy with a musty scent, tainted with the metallic tang of rust-eaten iron bars. The walls, adorned with graffiti, offer a dystopian beauty untouched by the passing years. Here, the past merges with the present, creating an atmosphere that is as forbidding as it is fascinating. The prison's cells, lightless tombs that once housed the condemned, stretch out in endless rows, their silence interrupted only by the monotonous rhythm of dripping water. Above, decaying paint cascades in ribbons, a grim reminder of the prison's forsaken state. Rows of cells stretch out like scenes from the darkest dreams, lightless tombs where dripping water taps out a monotonous rhythm, and decaying paint cascades in ribbons from above. Before Old Joliet's opening in 1858, the only prison in the area was Alton, notorious for its inhumane conditions. The Alton Federal Military Prison, established in 1833, was a breeding ground for disease and despair, leading to its closure in 1857. However, the outbreak of the Civil War in 1862 saw its doors reopened to confine Confederate prisoners, a decision that led to over 1,500 lives lost to disease. But the winds of change were blowing. Enter Old Joliet, a new prison designed by the esteemed architect W. Boyington. The prison's limestone structure stood tall, a symbol of hope and reform. But as with any ambitious project, challenges were inevitable. By 1872, the prison was bursting at the seams, housing over 12,200 men, far beyond its original capacity. Disease, abuse, and inhumane conditions soon took hold. Its imposing limestone structures rose as a beacon of hope, but soon, the prison faced challenges. By 1872, over 12,200 men crowded its cells, well beyond its intended capacity. The burgeoning population of Old Joliet Prison was a ticking time bomb, leading to a dangerous cocktail of disease, abuse, and inhumane living conditions. The prison, once a beacon of hope, quickly devolved into a living nightmare. A chilling example of the cruelty present within the prison walls was the fate of one inmate, Gus Reed. Reed, confined for breaking rules, was a victim of the prison's stern discipline methods. His noisy behavior led to a crude gag and chain outside the bars, a punishment deemed necessary to maintain order in the overcrowded facility. However, this method of discipline quickly turned into a death sentence for Reed. The crude gag, designed to silence his boisterous behavior, proved fatal. His inability to remove the gag resulted in an agonizing death, a testament to the harsh realities of life in Old Joliet. Reed's death was not an isolated incident but a symptom of the pervasive cruelty within the prison. His cries echoed through the corridors, a chilling reminder of the prison's brutal approach to discipline. His torment became a grim event etched into the prison's history, a haunting reminder of the dark era that Old Joliet Prison represented. The deplorable conditions within the prison were not just a product of overpopulation, but also a reflection of the lack of reform and care for the inmates' welfare. Disease ran rampant, with limited medical facilities and often inadequate treatment. The prison became a breeding ground for illness, leading to numerous deaths and further contributing to the bleak atmosphere that defined this era. The dark era of Old Joliet was a grim testament to the prison system's failure to maintain humane conditions and protect the welfare of its inmates. It was a period characterized by intense suffering, where justice was often overshadowed by cruelty and neglect. His cries etching a grim event into the prison's history. As we venture deeper, we encounter daring coffin escapes, body snatchers, and medical experiments. Old Joliet Prison wasn't just a place of incarceration, it was a stage upon which the macabre and the strange played out in chilling detail. One such tale that falls under the spotlight is the audacious coffin escape. Inmates, in a desperate bid for freedom, would hide in coffins meant for the deceased, only to break free once outside the prison walls. The audacity of these attempts only added to the prison's growing infamy. Then we have the eerie cases of body snatchers. Unscrupulous individuals would steal corpses from the prison's morgue, selling them to medical schools for dissection and study. These ghastly acts, carried out under the cover of darkness, added a spectral undercurrent to the prison's already grim reputation. However, perhaps the most chilling of all were the medical experiments. In one such instance, Vietnam draft resistors were given milkshakes laced with radioactive substances as part of a controversial study on digestion. The prison's walls bore witness to these ethically dubious activities, as the quest for knowledge overshadowed the rights of the inmates. Yet the prison wasn't just a site of horrors, it also bore witness to tense standoffs and demonstrations of power. In 1975, the Black Peace Stones, a notorious organized crime group, took control of a cell block, holding correctional officers hostage. The ensuing negotiation was a tense battle of wills that showcased the dangerous power dynamics within the prison. In the face of such controversies and unfolding events, Old Joliet Prison became a microcosm of societal issues. It reflected the struggle for power, the thirst for knowledge, and the depths to which humanity could sink. The prison's walls bore witness to controversial experiments, unraveling a tense situation through negotiations. As we delve deeper into the dark annals of Old Joliet Prison, we begin to understand the chilling echoes that still resonate within its limestone walls. Famous inmates left their mark on Old Joliet. Among them was Babyface Nelson, a Depression-era gangster known for his baby-faced appearance and ruthless criminal activities. His stay was brief, as he escaped to continue his life of crime. Another notorious resident was the chilling figure of John Wayne Gacy, the infamous clown killer. His reign of terror culminated in the burial of his victims beneath the prison grounds, a grim secret that Old Joliet reluctantly harbors. But the prison's legacy doesn't stop at its inmates. It also links to the man who assassinated Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., James Earl Ray. Ray's confinement in Old Joliet adds another haunting chapter to the prison's storied history, further cementing its place in the annals of crime and punishment. The closure of Old Joliet in 2002 marked the end of a tumultuous era. Today, its imposing limestone walls echo with the whispers of the past, inviting those brave enough to explore its mysteries.